I just turned down a job for thousands of dollars because it was for a Christmas musical, but not just any Christmas musical. I have nothing against Christmas films or musicals. It's because it's a slave Christmas musical. And I find that concept so bizarre. I'm, I'm just speechless. Was I crazy to not take the money? Or what? Hi everyone, my name is Camille Hugh and I am a writer and a filmmaker. I have produced 2 feature films, Trouble in Law and Squad Goals, and I make romantic comedies about Black women finding their happily ever afters, which everyone can enjoy. And I sometimes moonlight as an extra or I do commercials. I first thought that I could be a spy and be an extra on like a big production so that I could learn what the big productions do and then take it to my set. You know, it's like a free way of getting trained. If it was a cool enough project, you know, if it was nearby, if it wasn't too much hassle, then sure, I would take the job for a day or two, make some decent money, and get a chance to meet other artists and just interesting people. And I've done a few jobs, like I get queries all the time to be like background or featured background or to do commercials, and I've booked a few. The last one that I did was for an Irish rugby commercial, TV commercial, and I was a featured artist on that one, and it was pretty cool. I know nothing about women's rugby, but it was pretty cool nonetheless. And like I said, I just got a query. It's kind of like with these companies, they like your look and then they ask if you're available for the day and they tell you the rates and the times and blah, blah, blah. And it would actually amount to a decent amount of money over like 4 or 5 days or something like that. But I just couldn't get past the slave part. I just cannot play a slave. Is there something wrong with me? I know like you're an actor, you're supposed to be doing whatever, you're just acting the role, but I'm like the principle of it. Because the reason that I make the movies that I make is because I want to show Black women in like roles where they don't have to be going through trauma or like toxic environments or be ghetto or be, you know, like involved in drugs or baby mama drama or like a lot of things that you would see in a film where a Black woman is the lead, or usually like if she's not in the lead, then she's, you know, just like a side character that doesn't really have any depth to her. So I wanted to make movies showcasing Black women, not in like different states of life and in different economical situations, but generally middle class, upper middle class, you know, like a good life, a decent life. And those are the types of movies that I like to watch. And I was just tired of all of the other movies where Black women are playing these stereotypical roles. You know, like I didn't want to see them as the maid or the help or the slave or I think I just wanted to see a Black woman coming up in life and are already there, you know, like dealing with third world problems, you know, not fighting for her life, you know. And so that's why I make movies, because I want to make movies that I want to see and that portray Black women in a better light, that are lighthearted, that show that they are lovable and loving and they're intricate and, you know, like things like that. And I personally do not watch slave movies or movies where a black woman is like just having to go through these crazy plights in life. Not that a film should not have any type of dilemma or any hurdles for her to overcome or for her to change. I like movies. I obviously want to see a movie that's not boring, but I just want to see one that reflects like my reality, modern life. A black woman living a comfortable life, or a black woman striving for even more, but you know, she's not completely down and out. That a black woman that has a support system, that has friends, that has family, who, you know, like that. So just on the principle, I couldn't take the role. And my husband was like, you know, he's like, you know, you're just acting, and I do get it, but I couldn't do it. And I want to know, like, I want to know what you guys think if it were you. Would you take a role as a slave? Or would you have to pass on that one? I don't even know who they make these movies for. I have to really wonder how this movie was greenlit. Can you imagine pitching this? It's a Christmas movie and it's a musical and they're slaves. It's just, it just doesn't add up. Like this is very downtrodden, serious thing. They're gonna be singing and it's gonna be joyful and it's gonna be, I don't know. Like how does a pitch like that get greenlit and funded when the movies that I want to make, you know, about black women just dealing with normal everyday things like the difficulties of making friends as an adult, which is what Squad Goals is about. We have to struggle to fundraise. By the way, if you would like to support that film, I am still taking donations for the post-production of that film. You can go to squadgoalsfilm.com and send a few dollars my way if you want to see that film get made and you know it's up your alley of the types of films that you enjoy watching. But a movie like a Christmas a Christmas musical slave movie will get funded and get millions of dollars somehow. It's a little bizarre. Anyways, I just wanted to talk about it because, and I wanted to know like what you guys think of it. It's just, I don't know if it's just not, doesn't align with, not that every role has to align with you. I guess every role should kind of align with you, right? Like your values, your morals. And I am for us getting past movies about that. I am for, it's like the other day, one of my friends, she's a producer as well. She sent me this story about a black woman being like the first black woman to do something or another. I don't even know what it was. Or maybe not the first black woman, but like a black woman who overcame something. And she's like, you want to help me produce this movie? And I'm like, no, that sounds like a great project for you. And I think you should go ahead and do it. But I am not interested. I don't want to. I think it's great that there's a first black woman and there are women that are innovating and doing things. But like, I like romantic comedies. It doesn't, and sure, there could be like a love story somewhere in there, but I'm not trying to make movies with that type of message, you know, where it's like black women having to prove that they're worthy and that they're being just overlooked because of the color of their skin or they're being discriminated against. Like, I don't want to see that. My husband was saying something pretty interesting. He was saying, he was listening to some podcast and they were saying that a black person was like, they make these slave movies for you, talking to the white podcast host or something. The white podcast host was like, well, I don't want to see those movies. Like, why are they making it for me? I thought they made it for you, black people. And the black guy was like, the black guest said, no, we don't want to see those movies either. Like, who are they making these movies for? You have to ask yourself this question. Why do they keep making so many of them? And like, it's kind of like Oscar bait or something. These trauma, porn, doom and gloom type of movies starring black people. And like, those are the only roles, substantive roles we can get, roles that pay any money. where we have to kind of degrade ourselves in a way, you know what I mean? And it's a bit tiring, especially here where I am in Europe and being an American. There are not that many roles, first of all, for me, because they're looking for someone who doesn't have an American accent and who looks like they're native to this country. And so the roles, not that I can't audition for a role that's like open to everyone, but I think generally they're going to go with someone who's like a native from here. So when these roles come up, they always tend to be in this lane, you know, like a slave, a maid, something like that. And I'm just, it's very tiring and unfortunate and discouraging and all that other stuff. And that's why when I was casting for Squad Goals and I was particularly looking for people of color, it was a little sad that there weren't that many people applying. I think I can count on my both hands how many people of color applied. And when I tried to reach out, like I was proactively looking for those people of color to be in my film, and I would contact agencies and contact artists, and then the agent would be like, oh, they want way more money for their artists, or you know, something like that. And or they would like kind of stop it, you know, like the artist would be really, really interested in doing it, and then the agent is like, oh, no, you know, they like, it's just, you know, it is what it is. And it's obviously a lot more difficult here in Europe than like if I were to be in New York, where there are tons of people of color that I can cast. And I did do an episode with, I really need to post that one. I did an episode with a guest talking about this, but yeah, I just wanted to come in here and rant a little bit about that and get your take. And that's pretty much it. I didn't take the job. I had to turn it down, and it cost me thousands of dollars, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I'd rather like be working on finishing Trouble in Law. Everything is an opportunity cost, right? There's that time that I'll spend doing that because I can't work on the set. Like, it would be great if they were like, yeah, you're gonna be a slave, you're gonna sit in this library, right? And you're gonna be in a computer all day long. But obviously, no, they were like, oh, you have to be in a field, and you might have to get shackled, and you might have to do this, and da 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 da, and it might be like traumatizing. I'm like, this sounds horrible. You know, maybe everyone has a price. Like, maybe if it were like 4 times this amount, then maybe. But as it stands, no. So that's it. As always, if you enjoy my musings, want to keep up with me, like and subscribe. You can sign up to watch my films or watch my films at sittingpretty.com/screenings. I promise there are no slaves and no maids and no drug dealers in them. And that's it. Till the next one. Bye.